right, I'd like to be able to call this school board meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. Verification of public notice. The meeting was publicly noticed. Verification of a quorum. We have 6 of our 7 board members in attendance. Approval of the agenda. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Dr. Vito, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterson. Motion has been made. We have a second. All right. Ms. Robinson, thank you very much. All right, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor will raise hand and or aye. Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries unanimously 6-0. And the reading of our vision statement is to provide a rigorous education that empowers our students to confidently navigate in our ever-changing world. And our mission statement is through the lens of excellence, equity, and engagement. We are dedicated to empowering every student with the essential skills to build a foundation for lifelong learning. Let's go on to our item number 2, items for discussion, consideration, and possible board action. Is this Mr. Klimick or is this Mr. Russ?
David Russ started.
All right.
I believe the first one up for, I don't have my action in front of me, I do apologize. Is the snow removal for, the 23-24 season. I am looking to, get the board's approval, for, I believe the name of the company is, Lawn and Snow Pro LLC for a 1-year contract, to help us out with this, 23-24 season. And then bring to the board next year, another series of RFPs, hopefully getting more than just 2, for the next, 3 years after that. This company is willing to help us out with a 1-year contract, stating that, that they can help us out with an RFP come spring or fall or summer, whenever we decide to put out the RFP. And they would be recommended, but, not 100% guaranteed.
Hey, Matt, question for you.
Yes,
Does this company seem like though that they're large enough to be able to handle our needs, or do they have other contracts our size?
They have other contracts. They're just a hair bit smaller than ours, but they're actually a local company. They're actually based right down the street from us. And the gentleman, without saying, said that, we would be number 1 priority in his books before the rest of his customers. So that was kind of another great lead for us, is that, with the 1-year contract, that he was going to try to make sure that we were taking care of before most of his other customers. He does have a fairly large fleet, so it's not going to be where we're going to be struggling.
Question.
With this contract ending March 31st, is there anything in here that indicates if it happens to snow, of course, pray like that
I'm sure that if something like an anomaly where like that's happened, I'm sure that we can probably get them out here and give us a hand.
Okay.
Otherwise, wishes and prayers for us. No, but honestly, I'm sure that they would help us out, given that the contract ends in March. But we do have the occasional, Easter snow and,
Yes, we do.
May snow. But yeah.
Often those, like Halloween, those are short duration events or things, and usually the weather turns shortly thereafter, and so the melt is relatively quick, unless we're in some kind of April deep freeze, which is not unheard of, but not as common.
I'll just go from a personal note, which is what made me ask that question is, and you just referenced the snow that we just had. One of the contractors for an organization that I know, the contract didn't start until middle of November. So they indicated, even though we have a huge parking lot that probably should have been salted, their contract didn't start until the middle of November.
We're fortunate enough that we do have the capability of salting and plowing.
Right.
So if something, an anomaly were to happen and they were just like, our contract's up, we do have our own pickup truck that has a plow. We have a John Deere that has a plow. And we do have a salter, in which that's what we did use this last little bit of snowfall in our parking lots. So, we do have the capability. It just takes us a little bit longer.
Okay. Any other questions?
The 72,000, that's the maximum amount that they will charge us, or can that?
Minus the fact that in case of like extra salting,
Yeah,
like if they have to salt multiple times throughout the day, then we get extra charge for that.
Isn't that, I mean, that's not uncommon though, right?
What's that?
That there might be a need for multiple salting.
Correct, and the thing is part of the contract is that they do one salting. And after that, then like, it's kind of up in the air.
So it's probably going to exceed that amount.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it depends on the number of snowfalls you have, you know, and sometimes those snowfall events are overnight and they're done, you know, and the plowing is the big part. And then after that, it's more maintenance, you know, it's maintenance of what's left behind. It's those longer, like full day snow events where it's, you know, going slowly or a couple inches every so often, and then you have to continuously need to resalt during the day. And we can certainly do some of that here during the day while we're here.
Yeah.
As well. So it kind of, again, it depends on Matt has the ability to call them in as needed to make sure that the grounds are taken care of if the conditions warrant.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing and seeing none, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 snow removal contract for Lawn and Snow Pros LLC. As presented.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Walker. Motion made. Second.
Second.
Right. Thank you very much, Ms. Zick. All right, motion made. Any other conversation or discussion? Only thing I would just add is just Matt, just kind of find out if something were to happen after that date, what would the dollar amount that they would turn around and charge? That's all. Any opposed? Mr. Russ, you have the contract for our snow removal for Lawn and Snow Pros LLC.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go on to our next item is our outsourcing of BDE second shift custodial staff. That be you as well, Matt?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I am requesting that the board give me the ability to outsource the elementary school. Reasons being is that we are having some very hard, challenging times keeping staff. We are currently down six custodial staff right now. And we are, I'm just looking to get something where we can take care of our buildings in a better place. With the staff coming in and out, we're overworking our staff to try to keep up with it. And with the outsourcing of one building, that could immensely help the rest of the district. And so I'm just looking to move our current custodial staff that we have down at the elementary staff or at the elementary school, which is 3 custodians to the high school, and then have a company come and clean the elementary school at night.
I just would like to add, for quite some time, even before Matt became the facilities and grounds director, Kevin and I were trying to work together to create a level of consistency around ensuring that our buildings are cleaned on a consistent basis. And as we all know, that's near impossible when you don't have consistent staff. And we believe our teachers and our administrators deserve better in terms of the consistency with cleaning at the elementary school. We will take a look at this and assess it as we, move on through the school year and come back to you if need be, if we need to take a look at going back to where we were before. But right now, we feel like this is the way to go for that level of consistency. And when someone doesn't show, right, it's not our responsibility, it's the company's responsibility to still ensure that our buildings are clean on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the largest challenges is the fact that just our own, yes, we have vacancies, but just our own staff being available to be here on a regular basis and the strain it puts on our remaining staff that are here, that's certainly a challenge, and the fact that if they have people out, they're expected to have 5 people there, and if someone can't make it from their team, they will have another sub come in to address that. So it all kind of goes down with us not having a sub pool of, available. When we're down, and other people have to work longer, or things are done quicker, or they're just not done. So this I think will be a huge preventing consistency.
Will they only be working third shift?
What was that?
Will they only be working third shift
It'd be second.
or second shift?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, well, then that changes. So is there a vetting process for those staff?
Yes, they are all vetted. They're all background checked. They have they're US citizens. They have a background check that they have to go through.
Okay, I'm looking at the contracts. One contract is for December, start January and go to June for $17,000 a month. The other contract is for a year, right? So are we looking at trying to just finish out the remainder of this year? Or are we trying to get someone to have a contract that'll start?
So depending on what the board's decision is, what I would like to do is do the remainder of this year and the 24-25 season. And at the end of the 24-25 fiscal year. So a new contract would start July 1st of 24-25 or 25-26.
And you're
So it'd be
recommending,
basically like 18 months.
Okay, so this CCS's proposal, this is $38,798 a month.
Correct, but I did talk to them and we do not have to use their equipment. They just added that in case we wanted to use their equipment.
So what would be their cost because of,
21, it would be,
is it the 21,181?
yeah, it'd be 21,181, correct.
So that one's per month, the other one is 17,9.
Yeah, so 17.9 and then
The other one is,
like 18 something. Like
right. So,
you're looking, you all are looking to have approved the CCS.
I am. I did my due diligence and I called companies, other references, and CCS had the most positive responses with all of their references. And not that the other ones didn't, but CCS was also one of the ones that I had the most callbacks with.
Kevin, question for you is, all right, the cost for this, how does that compare to the cost that we would have had, if we had our own staff hired and being able to do this for like the next, I guess, 6 months, because these contracts are only going until June, correct?
No, what I'm hoping for is for an 18-month contract.
18 month. So again, I guess my question is to Kevin, what would be the difference? I mean, I'm quite sure you've looked at this. What would be the difference in cost between hiring and having our own individuals work the second shift compared to what this company is charging?
There are savings. Obviously, one of the challenges or one of the pieces is the benefit piece for us. So they're getting paid roughly the same amount that they would get paid from us, but we don't have the benefit piece on top of that. So with the elementary school, we are looking at savings. It's a little hard to judge only because we also have savings when people don't come to work. So I look at what we project to have, but we do at the $21,000 amounts for a year. We project at the elementary school to be spending about it's over $400,000 in salary and benefits for the elementary school. So $250 roughly with the contracted fees for a year. You would see savings in that area.
Okay, I'm just, I guess that's my last question I have is the CCS contract is about $3,000 a month more per month than the other two. So with that, is there something in particular? outside of them, them giving you callbacks or whatever have you? Is there something else that they're going to be offering us compared to the other vendors that submitted?
The other vendors, there was, the one company, LNA Crystal, they, their references were good, but the part that was a little off-putting from my end was that, when their staff is done cleaning, they're out. And we're still paying them the full amount, whether their staff is here.
Okay.
With, GSF, they have, they were good. The references were, the same amount, there were some good, there were some bad. Same with GSF, except for I had more reference calls back from DF or CSS. The part with GSF that was a little less descriptive for me was that, they wanted to use less crew. And my thought process is if they could get someone in here fast enough, would they be able to clean? Where CSS was like, we're gonna stay with the 5 people and we're gonna keep your buildings clean. And I know that even with 4 people, even if they ended up only with 4 people, I still know that the buildings can get very clean with 4 people. So, in talking with everyone, the people were all very professional about their thoughts and opinions on how they cleaned and everything else. So it was really, it's a tough decision, but it was between GSF and CCS. And at the end of the day, with the amount of reference calls that I got back from the companies from CCS versus GFS was my ultimate decision.
All right, Ms. Peters.
I was just wondering, the contract is for Monday through Friday. We periodically have activities on the weekend.
Correct. And we do have an hourly rate. They gave me an hourly rate. I don't have it on this document. But they do have an hourly rate for if we were to have a special event. They said that they do have people that are willing to work and would cover any special event down there, given that any one of our staff at the high school did not want it first. So our staff would have first dibs at any special event down there, then they would cover whatever. If we couldn't cover it, they would cover it.
Sounds great. And then finally, the cleaning of the floors is not included in this price. Am I not understanding?
No, everything that we do Monday through Friday, cleaning the floors, cleaning the desks, emptying the trash, everything is part of it.
Okay, I just noticed this additional service.
I think she's talking about if they had to strip the floors and
Oh,
re-wax.
that would be like summertime work is another deal that we would bring to the table as well.
Okay.
They do have everything that they would want and need for summertime cleaning. They just wanted to make sure that you guys had Monday through Friday covered first.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So I'm just, my only thing is with this being a new service that we're trying, do we really want to commit to 18 months?
I can see if they would be willing to commit until the end of this fiscal year. Absolutely.
One of the challenges, I think initially some of them wanted to do a calendar year, and I would love to get it on a fiscal year. For budgetary purposes, they'd have a major change unexpected in January. So whether it's whether it's now until June or 18 months, whatever the case may be, whatever the board's comfort level is, I'd like to get us on that July 1st renewal, as quickly as possible, just to prevent any surprise that would occur.
Yeah, I'm just a little apprehensive on 18 months. It's like, and then what if if the service isn't good or it's not working out?
I'm quite sure we got a cancellation.
They have the right to cancel.
Okay.
Is it 60 days?
Yeah, it's the 60-day notice.
And that day 61.
I hear you. Stay here, bro. They make it through 60, get to 61, be like, all right, it's a party. All right. Okay. Any other questions for Matt? See, I know we seem like we're putting you on the hot seat, but hey, they're all valid questions that all need an answer. So any other board members' questions? All right, with that being said, would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve commercial cleaning services company to outsource Rounder Elementary School second shift custodial staff as presented.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zick. Motion made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Peterson, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, raise hand and or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries unanimously. Matt, you're on the roll, 6-0, so we will go with CCSC company for our second shift, maintenance.
Dr. Vito, may I ask, do you want that for a 6-month contract or do you want that for an 18-month contract?
Do you think, I guess my question would be is, are they giving us any type of a discount by going with an 18-month contract compared to a?
No, because it's a year-to-year contract, so I would assume that I don't think that there would be a discount if we went with 18 months versus.
But if we went 18, we can always turn.
It wouldn't be an increase in July. That would be a potential, you know, if we went with 6 months, it could be, they could raise prices.
Right, and but 18 months, we know that we're locked in.
Yeah.
But then we still have the option in 60-day out.
I'm trying the cancellation.
Because you would need, obviously, if it was a decision made to bring it back in-house, you would need time to bring people.
Find people and everything else like that.
A 2-month window is not, you know, out of hand on that.
Right. So I guess we stick it with the 18-month. And then we just want to ensure that we do have that 60-day out.
Yes, sir. I will make sure of that, and if there's anything that changes, I will bring it to the board's attention.
All right, sounds good. So with there aren't any other questions already been approved. So and will be for the 18-month contract.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Let's go on to our next item. Approval of the BDA collective bargaining agreement of base wages.
Yes, and I received word earlier today that the BDA has approved the agreement as negotiated. So this is the final step to get that in play. I sent you a memo that kind of goes through the history of what happened. We're working with Dr. Beadle and Ms. Peterson through the negotiating process. We did end up changing our offer based on a suggestion from the BDA from our first meeting. So basically, the crux of the agreement is that we're doing 3 pieces with base wages, one of which is a normal step increase that we have done every year. We're also increasing the value of each cell by $1,500, which is something we did also last year. And then this year, the new piece, which is something that we're not doing officially going forward yet, but it's something I would like us to discuss and something that the committee that I'm working with the teachers will discuss, is the idea of a retention step increase or a loyalty bonus, if you will. So they proposed a certain schedule of having teachers in their 4th, 8th, and 16th year of service that they would get to move an extra step, giving them something to kind of look forward to and help improve retention. So their request this time around was to basically give everyone that would have earned one of those at some point one extra step. So we included that in the proposal. It brought the total amount of base wage increase up to 4.6%, total cost of $351,000. And then in an effort again of retention, our original proposal had suggested a stipend to all staff. We pulled it back a little bit and said, well, the folks that are getting that base wage increase, we wouldn't do a stipend for them, but we're doing it for everybody else. So our first-year teachers, second and third-year teachers would all be getting an additional $500 stipend. That's a one-time stipend. It's not base salary. And so we'll be able to use some of the extra money we have this year to help pay for that. So that included the entire cost of that brings the increase to 5.13%, which is very competitive with other districts. I did have a conversation with with one of the union reps this week or last week, and they were getting very positive feedback from the staff. It's a little more complicated this year to explain. So I'm actually going through, and as soon as the board approves this, I will be, I have individual letters that will go out to all of the staff that will not only talk about what this wage increase means for them, but also will highlight their base package of compensation, something that we haven't done, but it's something that a previous board had talked about. So they will see exactly what their salary and what are all the trailing costs and insurance and all that and what that adds up to, so that they'll have a better idea of what the compensation looks like for 23-24. So we're working on that this week, once, like I said, once the approval is official.
Did you say you typically don't do that?
We have not done that. That's something that when I was on the board, we had another board member pushing to have that done, and it never happened. So I thought as long as I was doing this, I was going to include that as part of the process. So first time. So we're sending out 3 different letters depending on which group the employees fall in, and we'll be going through there. So tonight I have 2 different motions. One to approve the collective bargaining agreement, because that's under Act 10. That's the part that is legally bargained. The supplemental pay or the stipend is a separate issue, and so that's a separate motion. So if you have any other questions, otherwise, you're welcome to approve it.
All right. Would someone like to make a motion to approve?
Okay, I will make the first motion, Dr. Vito, and that is to approve the 2023-2024 EDEA collective bargaining agreement as presented.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterson. That was a nice piece of work. All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you very much, Walker. Motion made and second. Any other discussion? Only I'm gonna say is Kev, good work. Man, this was a beast, but I think that when we came back, everything that we had put in that proposal, they agreed to without any qualms. So good job on that. All right. With that being said, all in favor, raise hand and/or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, motion carries unanimously 6-0.
Well,
Did you even know what was happening?
yes.
I knew, but I read everything on the thing and I was.
I'm saying, I don't think you can vote because the thing already had started. So, but again, the next motion, you should be able to. So, and then the next one is a motion to approve the 23-24 supplemental pay increase.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 supplemental pay increases to teaching staff as presented.
Thank you very much, Ms. Walker. Motion made. Second. All right. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Motion made and second. Any other discussion? Only thing I'm gonna say is I hope that this right here actually helps us with our retention for our staff that have been here, and letting them know that we really value them, and we are trying to do the very best that we can from a financial standpoint to try to keep us competitive and to keep them happy. All right. So with that being said, all in favor, raise hand and/or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And seeing none, motion carried unanimously 7-0. All right. Ms. Ask, make sure that we put down that. Okay. Thank you very much.
One follow-up then is the next step then for the board will be to approve increase for administrative staff, custodians, and support staff. I will be preparing some data this week, just as we implement, the actual approved. I think for teachers, it's a little more expensive than what we had budgeted for. So I'm going to just do the actual costs and figure that out, and then I will provide you with a couple options for the rest of the staff that we will discuss in 2 weeks. We obviously want to get this taken care of so that we can get increases in back pay taken care of before the end of the fiscal part of the calendar year. So we're looking to do that in December. So if we can get that approved on 28th, that will be our goal.
November 28th, right?
Yes.
Because I know from a payroll standpoint, we're trying to get all of this done before this.
Right. The teacher increase will be implemented on the 30th. We'll be doing the stipends on the 15th of December, but if we can do the support staff on the 15th of December, well.
Makes it easier from an accounting standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our goal.
All right. Sounds good. With that being said, if there's nothing else, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Motion has been made. Second.
Second.
Thank you very much, Peterson. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, raise hand and/or aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And seeing none, motion carries unanimously 7-0. I call this meeting adjourned at 6:02 p.m.